The Game of the Week is sponsored by Ken Bates Guitar Bazaar.
Hello and welcome to our Gridiron 7 overtime pregame breakdown for our Game of the Week. It's MacArthur versus Lawton High. Before we get into the game, kind of give your initial thoughts on Lawton High and MacArthur's season so far.
I think both of the teams are doing well so far. It's still the beginning of the season. Lawton goes into it 0-2, haven't won a game, so they're still fighting for that. On the other hand, you have MacArthur. They're 1-1, lost the first game, won the second game, and both teams can continue to build on that. It's early in the season. It's a long season, so they just keep building, keep working. I mean, again, Lawton, they're under a new coaching staff, new head coach, things of that nature, so all that plays a factor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lorenzo Williams trying to change the culture, change everything, and kind of start fresh for Lawton High. I mean, they had that narrow loss against Eisenhower where they nearly fell, but they showed a lot of promise against Ike. And then, of course, falling to Enid, very big physical team, kind of muscled them out of the game. And then for MacArthur, that tough loss against Elgin, man. I know that haunts them. We talked about it earlier where they wanted to beat Elgin so bad. Yeah. It's been on their mind. Can't do that, but you beat Eisenhower, and then you kind of build some momentum against LHS. Now they have a little bit of their mojo back where, unfortunately, kind of same thing for them. For Mac, they're kind of building high, and then Lawton High kind of going the other way. But what do you think are some keys for LHS to hopefully pull out a win for them?
I would say their keys will be to just continue to play as a team, play in all three areas of the game, that's special teams, offense, and defense. Trust the player that's next to you, and just go out there and continue to – I know Coach Williams has been talking to his team, telling his team, like, guys, we got to work hard. We got to love each other, play for each other. That's what he was saying all season. So if they continue to do that, I feel like that will play a major role, just playing for one another, playing for that player beside you.
Yeah, and kind of what that's have worked for them so early on was just running the ball, not getting behind the sticks and everything like that. I mean, when they were moving the ball against Eisenhower, it wasn't pretty. It was 4 yards, cloud of dust, but hey, chains were moving. They weren't staying behind them. They were making explosive plays. Special teams really coming up big for them too. Now we're going to switch sides over for Mac to get another city title, sweep the rest of the city. What do they have to do?
Mac just has to continue playing how they're playing. That's the run and shoot offense. They have a quarterback that can get out of the pocket, run. They can drop dimes here and there, give it to their running back. But Coach Manning is emphasizing tackling. So I believe if they tackle well, he did say that Lawton has great athletes and they'll have to be able to tackle in the open field. So my key will be his key, and that's tackling.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to build off that. Obviously, with Lawton High, they have that space on the outside. It's just getting the playmakers the ball on the outside, make them do the work. Same thing with MacArthur, man. They've showed that, hey, even if times get tough, going into that Eisenhower game, they weren't playing the way they want. Second half rolls around, make a bunch of adjustments, shut them out, offense gets going and everything like that. But talk a little bit about the process, the offense, the defense. Is there any key players you're looking out for?
Lawton High, on their side, Tavares Dean and Panay. Tavares has had some games. He scored on special teams, punt return. He scored at the wide receiver position. So just seeing him score, I would say, to get him the ball. Panay, I'm not sure much what he's done this season, but in the previous seasons, he's been that go-to guy. He's been that playmaker, and I believe those two guys, they're athletes. So getting them the ball, getting them out in space, allowing them to make plays, those are the guys they need on their side of the ball to win this game.
Yeah, and I'll take it over to the MacArthur side. We talked about Evan Lachlan a little bit, getting him out into space, getting him out of the pocket. A lot of times we've seen those bootlegs out to the right where he can move the pocket, hit his guys like Joshua rushing, and then kind of in the secondary too, you're looking at probably the most talented secondary we have in the area by far. I mean, they've got a bunch of dudes out there in MacArthur. They're going to try to stop, like you said, Tavares Dean's, Panay on the other side. But if you want to see all of the action, tune into 7 News tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. We'll recap everything for Lawton High versus MacArthur.